वॉट डू यू थिंक अबाउट द AI वैल्यूएशन? आप देख रहे हो कि स्पेस एक्स का अभी IPO होगा, दिस अ वेरी बिग वैल्यूएशन, सो वेयर डू यू सी AI गोइंग फॉरवर्ड हियर एंड स्पेशली इन इंडिया?
AI as a concept is here to stay. I think every 2 days we will see a new model or a new feature being launched. In terms of valuations, I think we've seen very high valuations for all AI companies.
Do you have an advice for a 25-year-old or 24-year-old?
SIP sort of a product in a good fund which has a decent track record. You should have a disciplined investment in that.
What is momentum investing?
Momentum is nothing but a rule-based approach to investing. There are many rule-based approaches to investing. Momentum, there is value, there is quality. So the philosophy of momentum is
हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू अ न्यू पॉडकास्ट। पिछले कई पॉडकास्ट देखने के बाद हमें समझ में आया कि आपने मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग को बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार दिया है। इसी सिलसिले को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आज हम एक और पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं विद मिस्टर अक्षय राव। आज हम इनसे सीखेंगे कि मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग में क्या चीज़ें होती हैं, क्या फैक्टर्स होता है, और थोड़ी बहुत इनकी भी मार्केट की नॉलेज से कुछ सीखने की कोशिश करेंगे। हाय अक्षय, यू हैव बीन इन द मार्केट फॉर ऑलमोस्ट अ डेकेड, यू हैव वर्कड इन कंसल्टिंग एंड नाउ इन टाटा एज अ स्ट्रैटेजी हेड। सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि सबसे बड़ा जो प्रॉब्लम है एक रिटेल इन्वेस्टर का, वो क्या है, वो कहाँ सबसे बड़ी मिस्टेक करता है?
so I think retail investor जब वो अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट पोर्टफोलियो बनाता है सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होगा to have a defined investment philosophy. He should know what his risks are and what his time horizon is. आज के दिन में आप देखोगे तो वन ऑफ द मेन मिस्टेक्स दैट एन इन्वेस्टर माइट डू is let his emotions drive his investment decisions. So जैसे बोलते हैं fear and greed are one of the worst terminologies when it comes to investing. It's always better कि investor एक rule based approach, एक framework, एक philosophy लेके अपना investment decisions करे.
सो अक्षय, मेरा काउंटर क्वेश्चन है इसी के अंदर, बहुत सारे जो रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनको ये फ्रेमवर्क या फिर ये जो चीज़ें उनके बारे में शायद नॉलेज ही नहीं है। सो व्हाट डू दे डू इन सच केसेस व्हेन दे डू नॉट हैव द नॉलेज? वेयर डू यू थिंक अ रिटेल इन्वेस्टर शुड स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग इन फर्स्ट?
So sure, I think one of the first things you should do before starting to invest, retail investor should define what his time horizon is and what is his risk taking capability. Basis this, I think mutual funds are a great space for an investor to invest in. So you would know mutual funds offer various categories of funds, be it large cap, mid cap, small cap, fund of funds, and each category is for a certain risk and time horizon level. That's a good starting point, and SIP एक बहुत ही अच्छा तरीका है for an investor to start investing. So monthly he will be able to allocate certain portion of his salary or income to investments.
अक्षय, आपने रिस्क और टाइम होराइजन के ऊपर बहुत बात की, तो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक रिटेल इन्वेस्टर हूँ, मैं अपना रिस्क कैसे पता लगाऊं और मैं अपना टाइम होराइजन कैसे डिसाइड करूं? आप मुझे थोड़ा अगर इसमें हेल्प कर पाएँ।
Correct. That's a good question. So जैसे आप you'd probably be of about 24-25 years.
यस।
So सबसे पहले what you should define is आपके primary goals क्या है. So for example, you would like to retire at 55-60. बीच में you would probably want to buy a house, you will get married, you will want to do some tours. Accordingly, you will be able to know what sort of money you would require at what stage in your life. Basis that, given the time horizon, you should think about which type of category of fund you would like to invest in. For example, equity will always have a time horizon of 3 to 5 years or more. So the large cap funds will have a 3 year, but the small cap may be riskier. So according to your goals in life, you should define the type of investments you would want to do.
एक और चीज़ मैं आपसे समझना चाहूँगा कि मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग बहुत लोग सुनते हैं, बहुत लोग समझते हैं, बट अगर मुझे बेसिक्स में समझना हो कि व्हाट इज़ मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग इन अ लेमन लैंग्वेज, सो व्हाट इज, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन मी दैट?
Sure. So momentum is nothing but a factor rule-based approach to investing. There are many rule-based approaches to investing. So there is momentum, there is value, there is quality, there is low volatility, etc. Momentum is quite simple. So the philosophy of momentum is you try to capture those leaders. So maybe stock leaders, sector leaders, index leaders. So आप देखोगे कि recent past में which stock or sector has performed well, and then accordingly you will adjust the weightage of your portfolio to capture those winners in your portfolio and reduce the weightage of the other laggards.
जितना मुझे समझ में आया एक्चुअली मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग मुझे थोड़ी ट्रिकी लगी बिकॉज यहाँ पे ऐसा है कि मार्केट्स अगर आप देखो निफ्टी हैज नॉट मूव्ड फ्रॉम 23,000 फॉर अ गुड टाइम लाइक 3 months बैक. सो इट इज़ स्पेसिफिकली आपको चूज़ करना पड़ता है कि कौन सा सेक्टर है जो पर्टिकुलरली मोमेंटम के अंदर है. सो हाउ डू यू डू दैट इन टाटा? टाटा के अंदर एक मतलब कोई भी एक फंड मैनेजर है वो किस तरीके से, क्या कोई प्रोसेस है, कोई स्ट्रक्चर है कि वो ढूंढते हैं कि यहाँ इस तरीके से मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए ताकि जब मार्केट साइडवेज रिटर्न्स भी दे रहे हो तो कहाँ ना कहाँ, क्योंकि मोमेंटम इज यूजुअली मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग तब होती है ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट्स के अंदर, राइट? तो जब मार्केट ट्रेंडिंग में ना हो तब किस तरीके से मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग की जाए?
So, जैसे आपने बोला, last couple of years the market may have been more in a sideways or consolidation phase, but advantage of momentum is you can do various cuts and try to get insights at either a stock level or a sector level. So, आप अगर sector performances देखोगे, about 5-6 years ago, IT sector was doing very well, led by global IT boom. But फिर COVID हुआ, and then during and after COVID, pharma sector was the leader. After that, in the last couple of years, led by capex cycle, infra, manufacturing, and PSU banks as sectors have done well. Over the last 1 year, while overall market may have been on a consolidation phase, there are still sectors, for example, capital markets. Capital market sector has given very good returns. Same way, the healthcare space has been doing well. Momentum का advantage है, and each of these phases, it tries to identify which are the sectors that actually do well.
बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टर्स को आज भी लगता है कि उन्होंने पीएसयू इंफ्रा की जो रैली है वो मिस कर दी है. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, इज देयर स्टिल अ रैली व्हिच कैन कम इन द कमिंग डेज? और ये बिकॉज पीएसयू बैंक्स ने बहुत टाइम बाद एक रैली दी थी और उसके बाद अब वापस वो अपने ही गेम में चल रहा है. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक अराउंड दोज लाइंस?
See, you're right that last 2 years, say something like a PSU banks and infra has given a big rally, and obviously because of the rally, risk reward ratios change. But what we have seen, हमने देखा कि ये these are more thematic stories. So these type of stories are structural in nature, and in our economy they are bound to grow. Of course, the market will see periods of consolidation, periods where there might be certain small amounts of price corrections, etc. But structurally, over a very long-term horizon, this should do well. So, as long as an investor has the patience, there should be growth in these sectors as well.
ठीक है. मेरा एक और क्वेश्चन था आपसे. मैंने जैसे देखा हमारे बहुत सारे यूजर्स का भी एक क्वेश्चन था कि मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रैटेजीज जो होती हैं वो ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट्स में तो अच्छा परफॉर्म करती हैं, बट अगर जब ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट्स ना हो तब ऐसे क्या क्या फैक्टर्स हैं, ऐसे क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं जो ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए वाइल डूइंग इन मोमेंटम या इन्वेस्टिंग इन मोमेंटम?
Momentum as a factor, it's a bit of a myth that it works only in trending markets. Okay, because on a broad market basis, maybe the market will either be in consolidation or a downward phase, but there will always be pockets of the market, say certain stocks, certain sectors जो अच्छे कर रहे हैं, and momentum is a rule based approach to try and capture those specific sectors and stocks.
देयर आर नो वेज कि मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग है वो कभी स्ट्रगल कर सकते हैं इन मार्केट्स?
No, so as similar to all strategies, momentum also may not outperform. So there are, like I had mentioned at the start, there are 4-5 factors there. So quality, value, low volatility. Each factor will always have periods where it does very well. But हमने देखा कि when you look at a longer time period, momentum investing in India has done well more often than not. Like you said, there will always be situations where momentum may not work well, especially if there is any external event, any global risk-off situation, anything like COVID that happened, where there's a sharp switch correction and reversal in momentum. So those risks are always there, but we look at it from a longer time period, and we have noticed that typically momentum works.
Okay. I was looking at the historical data and I figured out 2 3 points वहाँ पे कि momentum has always given good returns over value और quality. So what is the reason behind that? For example, value और जो quality stocks हैं, मतलब value और quality जो factors हैं, themes हैं, उसके अंदर वैसा होता है कि बहुत धीरे उनका increment आपको दिखता है, but momentum का आपको तुरंत दिखता है because it's on the rally point of view. Is that is one of the reason या फिर कुछ और reason है momentum investing का?
No, so all factors will have periods where they do exceedingly well.
Okay.
Momentum, because it is able to capture both fundamental shifts in businesses. तो automatically जब fundamentals improve हो जाता है, people will start noticing and the stock prices will start going up. And it also captures investors' behaviors. So typically, you would have noticed that when stocks start going up, it happens in phases. First, there are early indicators. कि
Yes.
ये business में कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है.
आज अच्छा हो रहा है.
Something is there. Then you start seeing it in earnings of that business. Then you start seeing it in the prices as they go up. And then if you add economic tailwinds, etc., the prices start going up even further. So because it happens in these different stages, I think momentum in India has done relatively well.
So looking at the current scenarios towards momentum investing, what do you think in the next 10 years? Will it be that more relevant because market will be more mature, more efficient? So momentum और ज़्यादा चलेगा compared to quality value?
So obviously, I can't say which factor will do better, but in general, rule-based or factor-based investing should only develop further in India as the market liquidity keeps increasing, as there are more and more indices, sectors being launched, and each of them have liquidity. There is more potential to analyze and get some benefits from these rule-based investing.
ठीक है. Coming to the new point, I have a question. Tata is also coming with a multi-sector passive fund. Cool. So मेरा एक question था, since you are from Tata. So Tata multi-sector passive fund ऐसी क्या problem है जो investors की solve नहीं कर पाता है compared to the other funds?
So, in this fund, the Tata Multi-Sector Passive FOF, we want to solve the three basic problems of investors. A, कि where should I invest? कि कहाँ invest करूँ? Two, कि when should I enter? कि timing, what is the सही timing to enter into a sector?
Okay.
And third, enter तो कर लिया, but when should I exit? Because without a rule-based structured approach, emotions might start taking over and the entry and exit points may not be right.
Looking at this fund, can you tell me कि this is suitable for which kind of an investor?
So, this fund is a diversified equity fund. So, the way the fund will work is we will identify different sectors that are doing well. So, our fund manager, through both rule-based approach like momentum, what we talked about, or any other factors like events or any structural changes, will allocate weightages to different sectors.
Okay.
So, it's diversified. It has exposure to enough stocks, so the volatility will be less, but it aims to give enhanced returns through play on weightages through a structured approach.
Okay. So is there a possibility where a fund manager can go beyond momentum? For example, in this particular fund itself, अगर momentum नहीं चल रहा है तो वो उसके against decision ले सकते हो?
As of now, in this fund, we wanted it to be a simple rule-based approach. So something like momentum would be the primary factor while defining the allocations. But because this is an actively managed fund, our fund manager will have discretion in certain situations. जैसे अगर कोई major event होगा, like when COVID happened or the 2018 crisis happened, we will take a decision on allocations. And the second important factor will be if there are any new sectors or new themes that are launched, or want to be included in our overall framework, we would like to do that as well.
One more questions I had. This is much of a personal question. Why this fund? Like why? Matlab, you since Tata has too many funds, a lot of investors comes and invest in these funds. Why there was a thought or concept behind mindset कि हमको ये वाला fund launch करना है? Did you see a problems? A lot of investors came to you and asked you regarding the momentum thing.
See, this fund has a few benefits. Because the underlying investments are largely passive funds, it is a largely low cost fund.
Okay.
B, it looks to play on sectors. So we obviously, like you said, have a suite of funds for different investor needs. Actively managed, we will have portfolios basis the fund manager. This is looking to just solve 2 or 3 problems for the investor. One, it gives diversification where there is exposure to 8 to 10 sectors, but at the same time returns through allocation and change in weightages.
Akshay, I have seen one more thing. इस fund में passive sector exposure, momentum based allocation और fund manager overlay का combination है. ये 3 layer strategy practically कैसे काम करती है और ये strategy है क्या? अगर आप थोड़ा simplify में हमको समझा सकें.
Sure. So, this fund will have, like you said, 3 layers. One will be the underlying sectors. Here we will have the overall universe of sectors. So, जैसे financial services हुआ, manufacturing हुआ, infrastructure हुआ. But at Tata Asset Management, we are also trying to innovate and launch different type of sectors and themes. So, for example, against financial services, there is a potential for investor to look at private banks, PSUs, capital markets, and we want to give investors the opportunity to get exposure to the different cuts as well. So within healthcare, there are the large caps, but we also have a mid-small healthcare, which gives investors exposure to the high growth pharma and healthcare companies. So that's the first layer where you define a universe of sectors and try to find innovative opportunities within that. Second is we need, now that we have sectors, we need to decide how to allocate to different sectors. We preferred a rule-based approach where the fund manager will choose one of the factors such as momentum and allocate the weightages. And the third and final layer, like we talked about, is the fund manager overlay on this. There might be any special events, any sectors to be added, which will help him refine the portfolio and make it a well-rounded portfolio for investors.
ओके अक्षय, हमने मोमेंटम पे बहुत बात की. आई गॉट टू लर्न अलॉट फ्रॉम यू अबाउट द कैसे किस तरीके से किस डिफरेंट क्राइटेरिया से आपने इस फंड को लाया है मार्केट के अंदर. बट मुझे जो अभी मार्केट में चल रहा है, ग्लोबली चल रहा है, उसके बारे में भी आपसे 3-4 व्यूज़ ले लेते हैं. व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट द AI वैल्यूएशन? आप देख रहे हो कि स्पेस एक्स का अभी IPO होगा, दिस अ वेरी बिग वैल्यूएशन. और रिसेंटली मैं सुबह एक डेटा देख रहा था जहाँ पे मैं देख रहा था कि कंपनीज अपने AI बजट जो हैं, जिस AI को लेके आए थे ताकि वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कम लोगों में अपना काम करवा सकें, वो एग्जॉस्ट कर रही हैं 4 से 3 महीने के अंदर. सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान्स बहुत महंगे हो गए. सो वेयर डू यू सी AI गोइंग फॉरवर्ड हियर एंड स्पेशली इन इंडिया? कि इंडिया के अंदर AI की क्या वैल्यूएशंस हैं, क्या कोई ऐसी कंपनीज हैं या फिर क्या कोई ऐसा मार्केट है जहाँ पे वो लोग भी एक बूम आ रहा है?
So yeah, I think AI as a concept is here to stay, and this ACE is evolving very fast. So I think every 2 days we will see a new model or a new feature being launched.
Yes.
Very little in the history of how we've developed as human beings has something evolved at such a fast and rapid pace. So I think going forward we will see lots of disruptions led by AI.
Okay.
And it's on us and the companies to see how they can take advantage of that wave. In terms of valuations, I think we've seen very high valuations for all AI companies, but people are looking at it from a longer term growth perspective. and I think that's where the valuation frenzy for AI is.
Don't you think even if people is looking from the long term perspective, currently the valuations are so high? मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर वैल्यूएशंस अभी इतनी हाई हैं तो आगे जाके क्या ये कोई बबल नहीं लग रहा है आपको? सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक अराउंड दैट?
So only time will tell whether it turns into a bubble.
हाँ.
But I think as a concept, it's something that is really transforming the world.
Okay.
And you can see that in the valuations currently. And I think from a India perspective, we have a lot of the marquee IT companies which are currently in the midst of figuring out their AI strategy and how to take advantage of that. So right now, as we are largely focused as a IT services setup,
Yes.
the stock prices are a little bit under pressure because of the fear that AI will replace the work. But I think going forward, you will see them also come up with various strategies around AI, and that would be interesting for us to see.
सो आप ये कहना चाह रहे हो कि जो आप अभी जो IT सर्विसेज हैं हमारी TCS और बाकी जो कंपनीज हैं राइट नाउ दे माइट बी इन अ प्रेशर बट दे कैन कम आउट विद न्यू स्ट्रेटजीज विद द हेल्प ऑफ AI itself. So eventually the valuations and everything will be on the same lines.
Yes, I think what we noticed is the stock prices have been under pressure, but the businesses continue to grow. They continue to get the project inflows. But what will be key for them is going forward as AI becomes more and more mainstream. How can these companies also leverage that and have services around that as well?
One more question I wanted to ask. Where do you see India's growth story from here in terms of markets and overall? Because I saw one of the videos of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala where he was mentioning that the Nifty would be at 1,25,000 in 2030. But where do you see? Do you see that we still have a lot to grow from here and we are growing at that pace?
The two ways. So one from a long term perspective. So to look at it from 8 to 10 years, I think a lot of the growth will be driven by domestic factors. What we only are doing. Also, there are a lot of factors such as investments, demographic dividend, uh, increased focus on digitalization, infrastructure building, etc. That will drive the markets. But same time, we can't ignore the nearer term global factors as well. So last few months, India has been sort of almost sandwiched between crude AI. So bunch of new AI IPOs coming up and the valuations we spoke about. FII flows into India have not been substantial, and at the same time, because crude prices whenever they go up, inflation in India rises, so has caused some near-term pressure. But I think from a long-term horizon, the domestic story is what will drive growth in India.
सो आप कह रहे हो कि जो डोमेस्टिक स्टोरी है वही ग्रो ड्राइव कर सके मतलब मेजोरिटी उनके ऊपर है. ग्लोबल फैक्टर्स विल ऑलवेज बी अ प्लेस विच विल जैसे आपने बताया क्रूड और एआई की वजह से जो हम सैंडविच बन चुके थे. आई हैव अ वेरी डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन. वेयर डू यू सी द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन इन्वेस्टिंग? बिकॉज आई एम अ जेंजी. आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स विद जेंजी. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल डू नॉट बिलीव इन saving and investing. They want to enjoy their daily life. And so where do you see the next generation of India in terms of investing and savings in that time of thing?
Yeah, so I think that's why SIP as a concept is very important. So for an individual who's started earning salaries, etc., there's always, like you said, the urge to spend and travel and buy things, etc. But if you have a disciplined SIP, so you just have to lock it in, say, first of every month or in the date on which your salary comes, and allocate that to safe assets that will keep getting invested, and you will have you should invest it and not sort of look at it until you actually need that money, and that will keep compounding for you.
Do you have an advice for a 25-year-old or 24-year-old who's just watching this podcast and who's just new to the investing side? What would you suggest to him? मतलब आपका उनको क्या सजेशन होगा कि ये चीज़ों का थोड़ा ध्यान रखो एंड ये चीज़ें आपको नहीं करनी चाहिए?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, a SIP sort of a product in a good fund which has a decent track record. So it can either be a large, mid, small, flexi cap, multi cap, fund of fund. you should have a disciplined investment in that. I would avoid, unless you are really into the research and follow the markets very closely, avoid taking calls on individual stocks until you get that expertise, and also avoid the urge to trade basis, news and different situations. Best way to invest for a 25-year-old will be a safe SIP that will just keep compounding.
ओके, सो आप क्या आंसर रखिए, इफ़ यू कैन डू SIP करो, ट्रेडिंग से अवॉइड करो 90% ऑफ द टाइम, और इन्वेस्टिंग अगर तुम बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च के साइड पे हो, तुम एक्चुअली जानते हो, तो फिर स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक जाओ, नहीं तो आपके पास बहुत सारे फंड्स हैं, आप वहाँ से चूज़ कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू अक्षय, दैट वाज अ ग्रेट टाइम हैविंग यू इन द पॉडकास्ट। बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमने आपसे सीखी। हमने सीखा कि मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग में क्या क्या चीज़ें होती है, ये जो फंड आप लेके आ रहे हो उस फंड के अंदर कितने डिफरेंट तरीके की स्ट्रैटेजी है वो, और आपने हमारी ऑडियंस को बेसिक्स से मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग के बारे में भी समझाया। दैट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट। दैट्स इट फ्रॉम आवर साइड। अगर आपको ये पॉडकास्ट अच्छा लगा हो और आपके बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हो, तो प्लीज़ कमेंट कीजिए, चैनल को प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और वीडियो को प्लीज़ लाइक कीजिए। हमने एक और नई आईपी बनाई है विच इज़ कॉल्ड 99% क्लब, जहाँ पे हम एक इन्वेस्टर की बहुत ही बेसिक प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आप एक म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टर हैं और आपको जानना है कि किस तरीके से मैं पैसे इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ, कितने डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स है उसके अंदर और कितने डिफरेंट फंड्स हैं, सो उसके लिए भी हमने एक पॉडकास्ट बना रखा है विद कीर्तन शाह। अगर आपको रियल एस्टेट के बारे में जानना है, उसके लिए भी हमने एक पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड किया है विद संजय कथोरिया। ऐसे बहुत सारे पॉडकास्ट उस 99% क्लब के अंदर हैं। सो डू लाइक इट एंड थैंक यू सो मच।